Hey guys, I'm Erica,
Hey y'all, and I'm Larisha.
and we are so excited to welcome you back for another episode of Journey Heart to Heart. So, Larisha, what are we going to be talking about today?
So today, y'all, we are talking about families, and this episode is entitled "It's a Family Affair." It's a family affair.
Yes, y'all know the song. We're about to have a good time in here today. All right, make sure y'all stay tuned.
Let's get into it.
Hey y'all, so we are back. We are talking about It's a Family Affair.
Y'all, this is going to be a good episode. I'm
Y'all,
excited to talk about families. Y'all, we know it's Black History Month, and we wanted to take this time to just really celebrate love on our families and traditions and things that we have experienced from the past, of course, the present, and of course, talk about the future.
awesome. Yes, I'm so excited. It took us a little while to get the topic, y'all, but once we got it, we were like, oh yeah, this is it. And this is the perfect month, the perfect time to actually go ahead and dive into this topic. So it is a family affair. Man, how many of y'all listen, we all have a family story. Y'all got a favorite auntie, uncle. So you got stories for days. We are going to share a few of ours. So, Larisha, what are some things that even like let's start with traditions. Like, what are there? Were there any traditions during your childhood that you remember that kind of stuck out that you enjoyed?
I have so many, y'all, but I think one of the ones that I will probably never forget is when I was growing up, my cousins and I, we were always together, especially during the summer times.
Oh
We would
yeah.
always be together. We didn't always go to summer camp, but we would always spend a lot of time together. So whether it's us out playing in the front, I grew up with a lot of boys. I was out there playing basketball with them, trying to be in charge of all of them, keep up with all of them. But I appreciated the times when my uncle would take us to like the movies and the zoo, and he would have us walking. And I'd be like, why are we walking to all these places? But he would have us as children like walking and walking miles. I feel like we would get on that bus and then we would have to take that bus and keep on walking up these long hills. But it was just the kinship and the fun that we would just have. Like we would never forget. We still talk about these things in our 30s about what we used to do when we were kids. But I think one of those things were mainly, those lunches that he would prepare for us, and we would just have a good time. We would have a good time because we were together, like I said, throughout the day, just hanging out. Our parents kept us all together, so it was a good time. It was a good time. What about you?
Girl, yes, I love the fellowship, the going to the zoo. We used to do that too. We used to go to the zoo, go to the fair, like anything. Going to the country. Like my mom is from the country, so I remember having to go spend a whole summer with my grandma in the country. Whew, it was fun.
Everybody has a country because we have a country
Listen,
too.
listen. Listen, you didn't have a real childhood if you didn't grow up in the country. Spend some time in the country. But yeah, like one of my favorite memories that I have from growing up was usually around Christmas time, on Christmas Day, getting gifts. So my family, I'm not gonna say my family is cheap, but they're very resourceful. So we will recycle some boxes. Use like if you have a box that you know a TV came out of or a toy came out of from the previous year, we kept the boxes and we were putting new gifts in them. And so this particular Christmas, it might have been, I was a teen. I had to have been in like middle school or something, but my mom gave me a Christmas gift. And when I opened the gift, it was a fire alarm box. Now, I was like, I know this lady did not give me a fire alarm. Like, why do I need this? Like it was the little box, the ones that you just put in the ceiling and not, the house. I'm like, why did she give me this fire alarm? And in my mind, I wasn't thinking that, oh, this could be a recycled box. I was just thinking like, Mom, why did you give me a fire alarm? And so I had an auntie who was so excited. She was like, "Oh, you don't want a fire? Oh, I'll take it. Give it here. Give it." And I would not give her my box. I was like, no, it's mine. I'm not going to give it to you. I just don't want it, but I'm not going to share it. Yeah, I was a little selfish back then. But then they finally got me to open the box. And as soon as I opened the box, it was a Rugrats CD. That was the time, right around the time when the Rugrats movie came out and it was the soundtrack. Girl, and I was so excited because that's what I wanted. That was the gift I wanted, but it was hilarious. They get me and you would think like I would have learned my lesson, but like every year they'll have something different. Like they did it again for my birthday, gave me like a tin full of peaches for like my 13th birthday. I think it was my 12th birthday, somewhere around in there. And my nickname is Peaches. So I was like, oh, that's cute. Like, where's my gift though? And this is like my other aunt, and she was just like, it's in 10. I was like, all I see are peaches. And so I had to move the peaches around to see the check that she had wrote me. But it was, yeah, they are hilarious. And they still do that to this day, except now I've learned my lesson. So I'll just open my gift with gratitude. But yeah, that's funny.
That is funny. I would have never thought that.
Right,
I
girl.
think I don't know, like, well, where is the gift? Where's the gift?
Right.
I going back to that topic where you're talking about the country. My family, my mom and her siblings, they actually grew up in what we considered the country in Virginia, and we would spend some time down there. And I remember I was tasked with going down there for a week, and it felt like the longest week ever. I mean, because when it gets dark, it gets dark.
It
Like you
does.
can't even see outside. There's no street lights. So for me, I would be scared to go down to my great grandmother's house. And they had me go down there one year. I think I was maybe like 5 or 6. And they had to find somebody for me to play with because it was just not happening for me down there because it was just like open field. It's just country areas. She was older. So, she had her own expectations. I was like, how did I end up here this summer? It was just a lot back then. But what I appreciate the most is that's where we would spend our family reunions at.
Oh
That's where
yeah.
we would go back down and every first weekend in August, we would go down there and have
Mm.
our family reunions. So we would do it every single year. My grandmother was the one who kind of was like the president who started it out. And as I got a little older, I was like, well, we got to keep these traditions going because y'all not doing it. And I want to keep doing this. And this is, I wanted to be around my family at that time. So I was like, we have to keep these things going.
Yeah.
And we would spend the whole weekend there. We would have activities. We would, go to a big field and have all these games and things and so forth. And it was just a really good time. And then as I got older, of course, we kind of went away from those things. But
Mm.
y'all, this year we're doing it again. We are doing it again after all of these years. So I'm looking forward to the time. My mom already told me, put this on your calendar. I need you to be there because this is the first one that we're having, I think, after maybe, I want to say maybe 15 plus years.
Oh wow.
I mean, we see each other, but we haven't
Right,
had
right,
a
right.
gathering like this together. So we're all excited to go and do this again. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. I know y'all gonna have a blast.
We have to. I've been trying to be on a committee and
Yeah.
Bogart and say this is what we should do. That was like, Larisha, there's nothing for us to do out here. Like, come on now.
Y'all can come up with a whole lot of games out there.
Right. So I'm looking forward to the time. I know that they are too. And this is definitely a long time coming. This was actually one of our eldest relatives who said, this is my birthday wish. I want all my family
Oh,
together.
that's
It was
good.
like, we got to do it. We got to do it. So yeah.
That is good. That's
Yep.
wonderful. Girl, I remember like one summer, my mom just on a whim was like, yep, you're gonna go spend the summer with your grandma. And I was like, huh? She was like, yeah, we on our way there. We on our way there now. Girl, I didn't have not one bag packed, no clothes. She stopped at the Kmart on the way there, got me my underwear and my sleeping, my pajamas, my t-shirts, my pants.
He was prepared. You didn't get no
Listen,
safe
she was
and all
like,
that.
I'm not dealing with you this summer. You're gonna go down there, going to the country. But it was fun because I had a older cousin who was probably just like maybe 3 or 4 years older than me, and she was I used to look up to her, and I still do. I love her. She's amazing. And so I would go and spend time with her, go to her house, because they literally were like maybe 2 houses down from my grandma's. So I would hang out there a lot. And then my uncle, he has a farm, and he would like, in the country, you don't really have to have your driver's license to really drive. So I would love it because he would let me drive his big pickup truck, and I would just have a blast down there. So yeah, I love it. What you say of like the family reunions and stuff, we have ours there as well, but we do ours like every other year. And so the past, well, I think they had one this past year, but then before that was like 2019. So they didn't do one in 2020, but they did have a little one in 2021. And I wasn't able to go to that one. But I did see like the pictures and stuff on Facebook. We have like a Facebook group where all the family is, in that group, and we share wishes, birthday wishes, share encouragement, all that other good stuff in the group. And so it's good to be able to still have that connection with them and still kind of laugh and kind of cherish those memories as well. But I know like one thing that I want to kind of take into, well, I don't know, are we still talking about can we go talk about like what we would like to do for the future, or we want to talk about the present?
I wanted to say something about that technology and that present.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
When people found out they could start group messaging people in these family group chats, I don't know who has some, but I got a couple.
Listen, we don't have none on the phone.
I'll be looking like, I'll go away and I got like 60 missed text messages, and it's all from one thread because someone is typing and they just chiming in, and I'm like, what did I miss? And one time they was like, we wish you a happy birthday. I was like, I didn't even know, because it was just a lot going on that day. And it's just, it just never fails sometimes. Sometimes it's good moments, and sometimes it's like, this is a bit overwhelming, but I appreciate the fact that we can use technology even in this pandemic to stay connected and plugged in with our families, especially if you can't see them on a consistent basis. So it's one of those things that I've grown accustomed to navigating through that as we've been living in this pandemic society currently. But yeah, that's what's been going on with my family. These group chats.
Girl.
And then when I try to get them on a group Zoom, they were like, I can't see you. I was like,
girl,
get it. We'll stick to the chat.
Now listen, I feel like every family did that pivot to Zoom and had the problems. And you after years of being on Zoom, like they learn how to turn the mute, push the mute button, still struggling with it. But that, I am thankful for Zoom, because that did, like, when we first started in 2020, when everyone thought it was just gonna be like, okay, it'll be just a few months, we'll be over this real quick. But around that time, we were having our Zooms every Friday. But then after we were like a year in, we were like, okay, well, you know what, outside is opening up a little more. It's been great chatting with you guys. And maybe do this maybe like once a month, once every other month. So that's kind of where we are now with it, like once every other month.
Okay.
We have but yeah, it's been, I did enjoy being able to use Zoom, because it allowed me to see family members that I haven't seen in a long time. Like I have an aunt that's over in California, and I hadn't seen her. This is like on my dad's side of the family too. Like I was able to coordinate something so that we could stay connected. And she's the only sibling left. So she really appreciated it, like being able to see her nieces and her nephews and her grandnieces and grandnephews. And it was just, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. So technology has definitely been a plus, but I can understand, even the frustrations and things that, have occurred too since using them during this pandemic.
Now you can go to the future. What are some things you want to see in the future?
So some things that I want to see in the future. I do want my children to be able to experience if not a full summer, a week in the country, because I feel like that's like your rite of passage um, as a child.
Uh,
Um, and so I don't know, how we can make that happen. I do still have family who still lives in the country, so we'll have to see. But that's definitely something that I would like to have my children still experience or be able to experience. Definitely with the family reunions.
mhm.
Um, I love, like, I'm just so excited about introducing like my family in the family reunions, like, because when I go, I've got to learn so much about like my history. On my mom's side of the family, they did like a wonderful job of breaking down um, my great grandparents as the head, and then my great grandparents, and then my grandparents, and just showing like the different branches from all the siblings and everything like that. So they did a wonderful job of like breaking all of that down, and us really knowing like, okay, oh, okay, so this is how you're connected to the family. And so I'm excited to add my own family to that tree. Um, have them us, I guess, get to be a part of that conversation as well. Um, what else am I excited? I'm excited to continue to use old boxes, old wrapping paper. Maybe toss in a little newspaper if they still make those, and then for rapping. Yeah, because it was fun. It's yeah, those are things that I even like still laugh with about my family and stuff. And so just to be able to do those with my kids would be, fun as well. What about you?
I think for me, I'm ready for me and these kids to go on traveling trips. So like
Mm-hmm.
using the summer to like go on family trips, like
Yes,
creating new memories, allowing them to see things that I didn't see growing up and to experience that. So that's one of the things that are crucial and very important to me, like really using the summers wisely for
yeah,
trips
that's
and
good.
school breaks and stuff like that so that they can experience things beyond, our local four walls and things like that. So yeah.
That's good. So I know this isn't a part of the conversation, but you bringing that up just now had me think of, would you do anything differently? And so, like, for me, like, for example, I would love to homeschool my children.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
want, I would love to do that because of what you just said, like having an
I'm gonna send them to
opportunity
you
for them,
then. I'm
yeah,
gonna send
to
them to you
go
then.
and and travel with them so they can learn like
Yeah.
firsthand and to get to experience different cultures, not
Yeah.
only here in the States, but like across the world as well. Like that's one thing that I will say that I'm grateful for like my mom, um, because she did provide those opportunities where I could travel to different states and different countries and stuff um, early on.
Mhm.
And so I was able to have like those different experiences because, like oftentimes, like a lot of people don't even get to leave their state or leave their city. And like even in my schools, we had those field trips and stuff where we got, I think like my sixth grade year, I was a part of the choir, and my middle school, and we got to, it was either sixth or seventh grade, but we got to go to New York to sing at the Today Show, sing outside of there for our choir. And so that was like a unique experience that I'm grateful for, because I know even some schools, they don't even have those opportunities available for their students. And so I really like, I want to homeschool, and I want to be able to have those, provide those opportunities for my children just to get to explore the world, see the world, and learn like firsthand.
Mhm. Oh, they're gonna be learning in the womb. They're gonna be knowing everything
Okay.
because I
Listen.
gotta make sure they come out knowing the ABCs at 5 months. You know what I mean? Being facetious, but no, seriously. Like
No,
I
girl,
really
listen,
want to
you
make
little
sure
baby
that
genius.
yeah, I want to make sure that I provide every resource and opportunity that I wasn't afforded to growing up.
Yeah.
So, like you said, if it's not homeschooling, then private school.
Mm-hmm.
My mother, now we got to get this funding together. We got to get this funding together to help pay for this education, and even college, making sure that there's a fund for them so that they don't have to take out student loans.
Yeah,
That they don't
that's
have to
good.
do all of this stuff that I had to, do growing up, and just
Right.
providing just a different path for them. Any
Yeah.
way that I can set them up for success, that is my top priority, moving forward for my family. But the trips, all of that, exploring them, getting them access to things that they didn't know. They're gonna learn how to swim early on. We're not waiting anymore for these types of things. All
Right.
the things that I
Oh,
didn't do, we
listen,
gotta
now
do
that's
it.
real. Swimming, riding a bike.
All that skating, get on out there, push you out there.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's things that I think are crucial and important to just building, new traditions moving forward, and then just exploring it all as a family.
Yes. Yes.
Holiday cards, all of that. Y'all getting it in the mail, all of that.
Listen, picture ready, okay? You're gonna have the whole family on it. Listen, Tucker gonna be on it too. And his little bow tie.
I love all of it, but that's honestly what I'm looking forward to the future, and just creating just a safe space, like being able, this is now being a little bit more serious, be able to create a space for my family to be open and honest about their
Yes.
feelings and their emotions,
Yes.
and not trying to downplay how they feel and suppress how they feel, but just creating that avenue for that.
Yes. And that's, you know what, that's actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because I know one thing for me is being more affectionate and having that affection and being, loving and, oh, hey, babe, give me a hug, or, just saying, hey, I love you. And just because, and so they'll know, like, yes, mom and dad, we love you. And, you can come to us when you have like anything, when you want to discuss anything. But yeah, that's definitely something that I would love to do as well.
I agree. I'm in the same boat. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the future. Um, and I'm also looking forward to the fact that I always tell my mom, like, you're gonna get to see your grandkids grow up. This is not what we're not about to do. So don't get stressed out with your job, with your life, your health. Like, we're gonna make sure that you get to experience all of this as they're growing up. And that was one of the big things for me for the future, that my parents get to see my children, grow up and so forth. So yeah.
Amen. Girl, I already told my mama, Michelle Obama brought her mama into the White House. So Mary, get ready, because you're gonna be you, you gonna come on over here and handle your grandmother duties. So
My mother that all the time. She don't believe me. She's like, I don't got time. I'm in the prime of my life.
listen, I'm trying to. I already had that conversation with my mom now. Whether she was like, "Oh, okay," I don't know if she was serious or not, but I was serious. I said, "Mom, whatever it is, I'll make sure you are taken care of.
Yeah.
Whatever you need, you will have." But it would just be wonderful for them to be brought up with someone that I trust, and I mean, you did such an amazing job raising me that yeah, they need that extra love and support of their grandmother right there. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
I did have one more question for you. What is like one value that you feel like you have seen also in your upbringing that you want to continue to pass on as you move forward?
Faith. Faith. Like my mom growing up, like my mom was a woman of God. Like she still is, but I just knew, like my mom, she would teach the word. She was very involved in not only just church, but in other ministries as well. And I know that because she instilled it in me so early, I'm the woman I am today because of it. Because like, just like the word says, you got to train up the child in the way in which they should go, so when they're old, they won't depart from it. And that's what happened for me. Like, yes, I faced my teen years and even, my early 20s, like I made decisions that separated me from God, like clearly sinning, but I knew better. And that even that one encounter, which was like that aha moment for me, that turnaround, that pivot moment for me was when my mom invited me to a Bible study at her friend's house. And that's when, the story of me meeting the prophet and the prophet sharing what the Lord had to say to me. Like, yeah, so faith, like that's one thing I know I'm going to instill in my children very, very early on, to let them know that, all about Jesus and everything that he's done for them, and the plan that God has for them, and just trusting and really living a life that is truly dedicated and sold out for him.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
That's good. I think one that I'm when I asked the question, I was like, which one is it, Lord? Which one is it? I think for me, the one that has come up is resiliency. Like, to be able to see and hear the stories of the challenges that my mom's brothers and sister, and even her who had dealt with, had no idea. And so I just had real conversations with them, the things that they've been through, and then now to see where they are today, and then to see the things that I've been through, and to see where the Lord is taking me to. It's like, I feel like it's like innate. It's like it's embedded in our bloodline. Like, we bounce back no matter how hard, no matter how difficult life may bring us. Like, we find ways to bounce back. Now, everyone in my family, of course, is not saved, but they also grew up in a Christian household. And some may have strayed and some may have come back. But I think one thing that has been consistent, again, talking about that faith aspect, it was better even with my mom. Even though I didn't start out this way, she was still going to church. She grew up in church, like she always with the church. So having that aspect, and then just seeing them just kind of navigate just through life, through health challenges. Even in the last 5 years, my family has experienced so much death and loss, and then to see how they have progressed even now, it's just like amazing. I don't know how they've done it, but I know it's the Lord's doing, because the things that they've shared with me, I'm like, you really went through that, but yet you're still standing, yet you still have a smile on your face, yet you're still progressing, and you are inspiring me to keep going on. And they would never know that, because again, they thinking, like, Larisha, you have it all together, when in actuality, I've taken experiences and gleaned from you, and you've helped me to move forward as well. So I salute and celebrate my family, all of them. And I'm just excited about where the Lord is taking them, actually. So yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good, man. Resilience is everything. It really is. It really
And
is.
it's embedded in the Black culture and
It
in Black
is.
history, period.
I
Like,
was going to say that too. Like, yeah, we are a resilient people. Like, for all the, oh my goodness, I,
we've been
yeah,
through a lot.
yeah.
And we're like in every facet of America, every, profession, like we're all embedded all
Yeah.
throughout it.
And could still have a smile on your face, still joking, like, Black Twitter, just
Yeah.
rolling. You could take something that someone means, scripture, what the enemy meant for evil, God will turn around for good. And it's like, you can take something, like, we would take something that was meant to just discourage you or just make you ashamed and all this other stuff, but laugh at it, make a joke of it. It's just like,
We're strong. We're strong people. And I
mm-hmm,
think the world needs to know that. And I think people need to hear that more often. Like,
mm-hmm.
you are stronger than you give yourself credit.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And I'm, since we're on the subject of Black culture, I'm very proud of the strides that the Black community have made. I know we still have a long way to go, but I'm very proud of the stride that we have made. The many accomplishments, like, it seems like every day it's something different, some new glass ceiling that's been shattered, some accomplishment, something. It's just like, wow, man, y'all are just amazing. Y'all doing great things. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There's things that I found out all the time. I was like, really? African American did that? Like,
Right.
we did that? We did that. So you get excited when you're like, yeah, we did that. We created that. We started that. And
So many contributions.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is good. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to greater and better, and more to come.
Amen. Well, sis, I think that's a great way to end this episode.
We can't end it just yet. There's one more thing that I have to say.
Oh, well, what is
I
that?
have to say that someone has a birthday coming up.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, it's actually today, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey.
Y'all, it is Erica's birthday, and we wanted to celebrate her on today. We love you, sis. We
Oh,
thank God for you, sis.
thank
Oh my
you.
God, it is your birthday.
Thank you. Yes, it's my birthday.
Yes,
Hey.
yes.
Yes, the big 3-4. I think that's
Yes.
right. Yeah, 34. That's it.
Mhm.
Just thankful to God for another year. Oh my goodness. Like, mm,
I got a question. What do you want to see in this chapter?
what do I want to see? More grace, more love, more
Mhm.
faith.
Amen. 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 Amen.
Yes.
That's good. I'm looking forward to it. You
Thank,
enjoy all of your day.
thank
All
you.
of it. Because you
Thank you.
deserve it.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I am. This has been oh, thank you so much. That was cute. Thank you.
Couldn't forget. I could not forget. Could not forget.
All right. Well, now I guess we can end the episode.
Mhm.
Any final remarks though? Anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think this was an excellent episode talking about family traditions, just the Black culture, our lives, our future. Yeah, I mean, this was a good one. This was a good one.
Yes, this was a good one. I'm excited. So, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Definitely make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you have not already. All YouTubers, make sure you subscribe. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, please leave us a review. We truly value your reviews. They help us in our ratings and our positions within on the platform. So please make sure you leave us a review. If you have any questions or if you have any ideas that you'd like to for us to discuss as topics, please send us an email. You can email us at journeyhearttoheart.com. And then also make sure you're following us on our Instagram page and Facebook page at Journey Heart to Heart.
Y'all, thank you so much.
All right, y'all. Y'all take care.
Take care.